So the world of investing in payments is changing fast. We're covering the latest stories right now in this space and really looking to break it all down and make sense of what it all means right now. But for more, it's great to have Matt Harry from Digital X to talk a little bit about Bitcoin in particular today. Mate, good to see you again. How are you?
Great to be back, Adrian. I'm very well. Yourself?
Yeah, going well, mate. It's been a big week. We're on Friday now, so we are getting there. Let's talk about Bitcoin. There's been a lot of movement in this space over the past 7 days. The price has moved. What have you seen over the past week exactly?
Well, the good news is that we are still in a very much bullish market in Bitcoin on the higher time frames. We did see the market get very long ahead of the sort of 60,000 US dollar mark. So we saw a bit of a clean out of over leveraged traders, saw a bit of a pullback into the mid to low 40,000 US dollar range. But encouragingly, we did see a very strong institutional bid step in the mid 40s. And we saw the sort of larger buy programs being switched back on the larger algos. So we think longer term, this 40 to 50,000 US dollar range is still very, very good buying.
Let's look about the market more broadly. What have been some of the major developments that you've seen in terms of news?
Yeah, look, we're seeing encouraging news almost on a daily basis now, and we've seen some pretty big things come out in the past week since we last spoke. Citibank was one that released a 108-page report into Bitcoin. They're saying that they believe Bitcoin is currently at a tipping point based on the amount of institutional adoption and regulatory developments and clarity. So a very big vote of confidence there. They're also saying that it could become the currency of choice for international trade, which when you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. International trade, they're shipping containers 24/7, but unfortunately, with the banking system, you can only make payments for those containers during the week. There are no banking payment rails between 4:30 p.m. on a Friday and 9:30 a.m. on a Monday. Unlike with Bitcoin, where you can make almost instantaneous payments with low fees on a 24/7 basis. So very, very interesting stuff Citibank's talking about there. And then we saw also out of JP Morgan, very significant news. They released a client note saying that they were suggesting to their clients that they could add a 1% allocation to Bitcoin into their multi-asset portfolios to improve risk-adjusted returns. So again, ongoing backflip from JP Morgan in 2017. They were saying Bitcoin was a fraud. They're now suggesting to clients that they should be allocating at least some portion of their portfolio into the space.
It's a big turnaround, isn't it? That is for sure.
It sure is.
And just to wrap up, let's look at the largest potential risk that you're seeing at the moment. What do you have in mind?
Yeah, look, I'm going to say something a little controversial here, and it will be a bit of an unpopular opinion with crypto market participants or people that work in the industry. And there's a lot of zealotry in the crypto world, and there's this whole kind of narrative that all of crypto is going to change all of the world, and we're headed for a decentralized future, and it's all going to happen now. We saw this narrative in 2017 with ICOs, and then after that we saw the security token craze, and then we saw Web 3.0, and we're now seeing DeFi and non-fungible tokens, which is the latest, greatest craze. But I want to be clear here and make a word of caution to investors. There is really only one portion of the digital asset markets at the moment that is undergoing broad and deep institutional adoption and usage, and that is Bitcoin and a handful of the top digital assets by market cap. So I think the other stuff, some of it may outperform Bitcoin during a bull run, but we've seen that when the market turns and liquidity dries up, which will happen at point, moreover, you can end up with basically no exit. You can end up holding assets that are really worthless. So a word of caution to investors: it's fine if you're looking to take a punt, but if you're an investment or wealth management professional and you're handling other people's money, you need to be clear on which parts of the market are actually undergoing that broad adoption at the moment. And that's really Bitcoin and the top handful of digital assets.
Yeah, right. So why do you think that's so controversial exactly?
Well, as I said, there's a lot of zealotry in cryptocurrency land, and there's a lot of people that will say DeFi is about to change the world. We're headed for a decentralized future. we're seeing broad adoption across the entire market, but we aren't. We're seeing broad adoption and deep adoption and usage of Bitcoin and Ethereum and maybe a couple of other assets at this stage. And we believe at Digital X, we take a very pragmatic approach. This is why we only provide access to the top 10 digital assets by market cap. You start going a little bit further afield than that, and you're getting very speculative. Despite recent price action, which is price action relative to a bull market, as I say, when things turn, those more speculative parts of the market can really reverse very, very quickly. But we now have a very strong institutional bid underpinning Bitcoin and Ethereum, and that is where allocators should be aiming their cannons in this market.
Mate, great stuff. Good wrap again from you. Really appreciate your time. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll talk soon, okay?
You're welcome, Adrian. Thank you.